Good afternoon, and I guess it's good evening in Liberia or wherever you are watching this podcast. This is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. Uh, it's about 43 p.m. in Maryland. It might be 1 or 2 hours different in other states, but if you're watching the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host as always. So as you can see on the screen, I just want us to discuss something that someone has reached out to me. It's a serious national issue, and it's an epidemic that have eaten our country over a long period of time. And I felt it was so interesting to talk about. So momentarily, I'm going to play you a video about what we are going to be talking about. I have somebody who is going to join me as well as we dive just for a short time to stay out here and discuss national issue, especially the things that affect our country, our common denominator, Liberia. So if you're watching the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show. You will want to hit the like, comment, and share the podcast. We will highly appreciate you. And also keep following our show as we bring you some of these information. But before we get on the topic and play some video, we're going to have a musical time, a music by one of my sisters that is so uplifting. Her name is Lena. We're gonna play that music, but let's start our show with our first introduction video. And as we move along, we are going to play you some interesting music as well. But we want to start our show with our introduction video. Stay tuned.
Begin at tunesliberia.com.
My God, you got a spell on me now. Faster, I'm losing my mind. Hey, my mister, you know you are.
Welcome to the Rahim Show. We are excited to have you join us live. Meet our team and follow us via Facebook and YouTube as we bring you interactive discussions, educational literacy, entertainment, spirit-filled content, and so much more. Thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate your support. Welcome to the Rahim Show. We are excited to have you join us live. Meet our team and follow us via Facebook and YouTube as we bring you interactive discussions, educational
Good afternoon, folks in the U.S. here. Good evening to our people in Liberia and wherever you are watching this podcast via Facebook and YouTube. I want to say welcome to the Rahim Show. I am your host, Ricky Ali, and we are just having a podcast for a short time. And because someone had reached out to us to discuss national issue that affect our country, Liberia, our common denominator. So we want to discuss issue because we want to see a better Liberia. Under the leadership, we are going to discuss things constructively and professionally to engage this government to do well because we have seen over time corruption has eaten our society. And we are going to play you a video. We want you to be a part of the show and share your perspective and feedback as it relate to one of the honorable representative of district number 10, Yeke Koluba, let's say his press conference regarding some sort of coupon that he received from the Ministry of State and Presidential Affairs about some kind of bribery. We want to discuss that because we want to see a better Liberia, and the issue of corruption, it is not something we want to see Liberia driving in that path, because we know what it means when a country uh, engage in corruption. A lot of people do suffer, and we have seen that over time in Liberia. So if you are following the show via Facebook and YouTube, welcome. This is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. So let me set the tune or set the stage for our discussion by playing this video for which I'm having this podcast. This video is a press conference that was held by Honorable from District Number 10, Yeke Koluba. In the long run, I'm trying to make an arrangement for him to come on the show, but we are still trying to reach out to him. But this is one thing that we don't want to see Liberia driven back into, because the issue of corruption is an epidemic. It's something that eat our society, and let's say deprive improvement and development of a country. So let's watch this video so we can set the stage for our discussion. Then we can reach out to our guest who's going to be here for a short while, just to have an interactive discussion about this video that was raised, and the video about the press conference that Honorable District Number 10 Yeke Koluba talk about. So let's just watch the video so we can see. And if you want to come live to share, to be a part of the discussion, just send me a message and I will send you an invite so you can come and also be a part of the show. The discussion is about national issue, and we don't want to see the issue of corruption. As we all know, corruption is an epidemic. It's a disease that create despair, and a lot of things that make our country not to improve. So we have seen that over time. So we want to play this video by the Honorable Yeke Koluba. Some of the things he mentioned about bribery. So let's watch the video so we can set the stage for our discussion.
Counties and tell them that them starting in Mosorado, we will communicate with them and we'll have people to go lab to make sure that they are on the ground for the protest. We're not here for this. We are not here for this. We brought government for change, we brought government for family people, we brought government for corruption. So there is corruption in the highest level. This is corruption in the high. I don't know whose signature this. I know.
You say
so you gotta look at them and do that. Somebody's signature here. It's and everything behind it.
You say you're gonna be giving this coupon to Honorable Kofa. What will you be saying to him?
Well, the people bribing us to move you. This is the evidence. You can take the evidence. My name is on it, Honorable Yeke. You know, people can be afraid to do this. Me, I'm not afraid to do nothing. When I suppose say, oh, my name on it, I received bribe from the Minister of State, from Joseph Waka through the Minister of State, to keep together, to hold together, to move Fonati Kofa. Fonati Kofa, yes, the 11 men. And I will give that recording too to Honorable Kofa, so you can keep it. They have 11 men acknowledge that this is a signature.
How many dollars are we talking about?
$4,500 US.
We've gathered information as well that this is only for people that support Rachel Kun.
Mama, you late. That's what I said. You late, AC, you know.
I said we've gathered information. I'm not saying it, but
because you late inside the school, so you come to school late. You know, students are late inside the school, so always say they reach the second period. Because of your office here, so you came late. You know, I acknowledge that you went to use a restroom. I acknowledge that. But, you know, this is what Joseph Waka decided to do. Joseph Waka won't fight. He won't fight for Fonati Kofa. I've been telling Fonati Kofa, I say, Fonati Kofa, I want black state won't move you. I said, I want black state won't move you.
So, folks, welcome back. We all know that Representative Yeke Koluba sometimes becomes controversial, but it's interesting to note that he was able to have that press briefing, and I'm going to read out the reason behind this whole video, for which he had that press briefing. Uh, they said District Number 10 lawmaker Honorable Yeka Y. Kaluba published the receipt. I think you saw the receipt in the video, the receipt that was given to all lawmakers. He said the same thing was shared with all lawmakers in a video from the office of the president, Joseph Yoma Bwaka, through the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. And then Koluba stated that President Joseph Boakai planned plot against Speaker Jay Fonati, co-filed of the Honorable House of Representatives, according to his section. And he also mentioned that the country will be strengthened, and I will continue to speak or talk about the people. So he said he would continue to talk and speak about the Liberian people. I think if you watch the video, every part of that video, he mentioned about how the civil servant haven't gotten paid, and every time they talk about budget court, but the common people not yet being paid. Those are some of the things, I personally may have one or two, issues sometime with Honorable Yeka Koloba, but sometimes, realistically speaking, he loved his district and sometimes support the common people. He always speak about it. I think he's a consistent lawmaker. So if you're following the show, just for a short time, we have someone who is coming so we can discuss this because if what Kaluba had a press conference about, according to that video, I don't know if you have watched the video before, but the reason we play this video is because we want to see the issue of corruption not coming back or not being in existence in our country, because we all know that what corruption has put Liberia to a place where we have seen so much suffering, so much appropriation of government funds, and at the end of the day, we don't see development being done. I'm gonna play you a music by one of my sister called Lena while we are waiting for our special guest for this particular discussion.
I've come to tell you a story of hope, a story of peace, a story of life, a good story, a story of blessings, a story of love, a story of peace. Sometimes you pray and pray, no answer you get so discouraged. You will cry that God is not listening. He has forgotten you, that God is not there. He's not hearing you, that God has turned his back on you. You cry and cry and cry.
Welcome back, folks. If you are tuning in, this is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali, and we are just here for a short time. And my host is trying to get on momentarily. So I'm waiting for my special guest to come in studio so we can discuss national issue, especially the video I just played earlier. I'm gonna play that video again because I know a lot of people just flip through Facebook and they're watching the show and on YouTube as well. We are discussing the issue of corruption because we know what corruption has done both to the private and the public sector in Liberia. It is an epidemic, a disease that can create a lot of backwardness for our country, and we don't want to see that happening in this particular government. I believe. Like I always tell people, I'm optimistic that this government would do well, but I cannot sit using my median to condone some things that is wrong. We have to address the issue because we want to see a better Liberia. It's all we want to see out there. So if you are following the show, this is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. We are just here for a moment and we are discussing national issue, especially with corruption. We want to make sure that the issue of corruption is not something that Liberians are repeating all the time. We want to see a change, and that's the change we want to see to better the common people live in Liberia, and we just want to see a better Liberia. So if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, you want to hit the like button, share the podcast. And if you want to come in studio so that we all can discuss this topic, feel free to send me a message and I can send you an invite and we can come in studio. We all can discuss this issue about common denominator. Liberia is all that mattered, and we want to see that country being a better place for every one of us. So whether you are like you are in the diaspora or you are in Nigeria or you are in Ghana, wherever you find yourself, we are all Liberian, and Liberia is our common denominator. So if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali. And once again, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for taking off your time to be part of our show. We are discussing national issue and we are discussing the video, the press conference that was made by District Number 10, Honorable Yeka Koluba, about bribery. He mentioned about a coupon, and he in the video he mentioned that it was confirmed by the vendor about some kind of funny job things that they should get for their offices, and the 4,500 voucher coupon that was issued to all lawmakers. So we are trying to discuss this particular video, and also we have somebody who is coming to be a part of our show. So if you're watching the show via Facebook and YouTube, thanks for tuning in. You want to hit the like button, share the podcast. And if you also want to come live, we highly appreciate you coming to share your perspective. But let's go back to the video and listen to what Yeka Koluba had to say about Joseph Yuma Boaka, and let's watch.
Contest and tell them the game is starting in Mosorado. We will communicate with them and we'll have people to go live to make sure that they are on the ground for the protest. We're not here for this. We are not here for this. We brought government for change, we brought government for family people, we brought government for corruption. There is corruption in the highest level. This is corruption in the high. I don't know whose signature it is. I don't know.
You say
so you gotta look at it, there's somebody's signature here. It's and everything behind it.
You say you're gonna be giving this coupon to Honorable Kofa. What will he be saying to you?
Well, the people bribing us to move you. This is the evidence. You can take the evidence. My name is on it, Honorable Yeke. You know, people can be afraid to do that. Me, I'm not afraid to do nothing. When I suppose say, oh, my name on it, I received bribe from the Minister of State, from Joseph Boaka through the Minister of State, to keep together, to hold together, to move Fonati Kofa. Fonati Kofa, yes, the 11 men. And I will give that recording too to Honorable Kofa, so you can keep it. The 11 men acknowledge that this is a signature.
How many dollars are we talking about?
$4,500 US.
We've got information as well that this.
So, folks, thanks for tuning in back. You heard Mr. Koluba for himself. You heard in that video he mentioned that he received a $4,500 coupon from the Ministry of State and Presidential Affairs, which he said and he will try to contact for follow information regarding why they coupon were issued for some sort of furniture. He made a statement about bribery. He made a statement about corruption as well, and how he doesn't want to be part of anything that will harm or jeopardize the Liberian people. And if you are following the show, this is the Rahim Show. I am your host, Ricky Ali. And just for a short time, I have my guest who is trying to make his way here so we can discuss about this because we don't want to see Liberia going into another trend of misappropriation of government resources, aid, which can endanger and cause poor infrastructure and development for our country. And we don't want to go to that. We don't want to drive into that path because we want to see a better Liberia. So if you are following the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. You want to hit the like button, share the podcast, and also if you want to come live, send me a message and I can send you an invite so that you can come and be a part of the show so we can discuss a national issue as it confront our society, our country, our common denominator. Liberia is all we want to see better. So folks, if you are joining the show via Facebook and YouTube, welcome and stay tuned as we have an interactive discussion. Just waiting on my guests to join the show momentarily. But I'd like to read out something that's very important for our viewer out there. Corruption, corruption, corruption. We all know that corruption has a very bad effect to any country that want to develop. And corruption is something that can eat out the entire society because money might be given for a particular project, or money might be given for a particular, let's say, implementation to be done. But one of the reasons why sometimes you see, like I follow a lot of great people, and I think most of what they said about project and things that people fail to do is an aspect of the implementation visibility that is lacking. Most when they give you money for a project, especially in African country, that project money is intended to see the project visibly. But a lot of time, African leaders use the opportunity in order to make the project become visible. They end up makes appropriating money, and at the end of the day we don't see the realization of some of the project because normally when the project is implemented, it also has a direct and an indirect effect on the citizen. Take for instance, if you are building a big hospital, a very unique hospital, and there was a budget of 500 million, and you know how that money is huge, so it should be an advanced hospital that have everything. But if you just use 100 million, all of that 500 million rather, you also endanger the ability to make the projects come to its realization or fulfillment because what? You have taken 400 million of that 500 million. It tells you how corruption is an epidemic. So if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. You want to hit the like button, you want to share the podcast, make some comment, and we highly appreciate that. So I'm going to play you another music by Sister Lena. I love the music so much. She, very great music, inspirational. So stay tuned.
I've come to tell you a story of hope, a
Well, folks, welcome back. This is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. And we are discussing national issues specifically to the video Yeka Koluba had a press conference about, raising the issue about the voucher of 4,500 that I given him from the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, and claiming that voucher is an act of corruption and bribery, and we want to see a better Liberia. So we are discussing that. So if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. So for a quick time, I'm still waiting for my guest to be a part of this discussion. But if you are watching the show via Facebook and YouTube and you find it interested, maybe interesting rather to be a part of the show, you can send me a message and I will send you an invite so that we can have a fruitful and a productive discussion. So I just wanted to strike something in about corruption. Historically, Liberia have a history about misappropriation of foreign aid and other things, which has caused the country a lot of setback. So we don't want to see that. We want to see a better Liberia, and that's all we pray for every day. That's all my show is established for, to be able to engage the leadership of Liberia constructively and in a professional manner, because the issue of corruption, we all know, and I was in Liberia like 2 years ago, and I saw how things have changed. It was not a good sign, because initially, before I even traveled to the US here, I know how the number of people called Zoko were not as many as 2 years ago when I just left from Liberia. So it tells that there is a change, and no change are not a good sign for our country, because we want to see the life of these people to being better. We don't just want to see young men and women, engage into things, all because they cannot find, that physiological need for survival. And we want to see the country do better, so that these, at least, not everyone is going to have money, because Liberia is not like America. Liberia is a country trying to develop. So we haven't reached that stage yet. So we want to see a better Liberia. So if you're following the show, we are discussing national issue, and we are discussing specifically in reference to Yeke Koluba, a section about Joseph Yoma Buaka bribery and corruption. And I played the video, and I'm going to play it for the last time so that our viewer out there can watch what the entire topic is about. We want to see a better Liberia. We want to see a corruption-free society, and that's what we pray for. We want to see a corruption-free society. But let me provide the viewer out there a very important information that I want people to get. According to the Transparency International 2023 Corruption Perception Index report, right? It said Liberia scored 25 on a scale from 0. Highly corrupt. That's how they describe Liberia. According to, it's not me. If you want, you can check it. Go on Google and check, and you're gonna see this information. I did not create information. This is why I report by the Transparency International 2023 report, and it said the corruption perception index report. Liberia scored 25 on a scale from 0, highly corrupt, to 100, very clean. When ranked by score, Liberia ranked 145 among 180 countries in the index. Where country ranked first is perceived to have the most honest public sector. Some country rank one, so they have the most honest. Liberia ranked 145, to tell you how we need to do more when it comes to the issue of corruption. So if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. And we are discussing national issue, and we want to specifically discuss the video by, this is the press conference held by District Number 10, Yeka Koluba, a section about Joseph Yoma Buaka bribery and corruption. He made mention about $4,500 voucher given by the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. So we don't want to see Liberia driven into to the area. We want to see a better Liberia. So I'm waiting for my guest. I think he's finding it very difficult to log in, and um, I'm going to take a break. And when I get back, we are going to be joined by our guest. Let me see what I can work on something for him to get live. But if you are following the show, this is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. You want to hit the like button, share the podcast, and also comment. We would highly appreciate that. And if you want to come live as well, just send me a message and I will send you an invite. But let's just play the music. I just love this music. That's why I keep playing. But Facebook, please, we do not own copyright to this song. This is someone else's song, and we are playing it. We are telling you that we own no copyright to this song. So let's just watch the music while I'm trying to help my guests to log on and be a part of the show.
I've come to tell you a story of hope, a story of peace, a story of life, a good story, a story of blessings, a story of love, a story of peace.
Answer in Time. That's the name of the song, Answer in Time. And that song was sung by a very beautiful sister of mine called Lena. She did an amazing job. If you listen to the entire wording of that song, it's very, very touching. And I'm so blessed by that music. That's why I keep playing it. But Facebook, we own no copyright to that song, please. Do not mute this video. As we are saying, we own no copyright to that song. But folks, if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. Just for a short time, we are discussing some key national issue and a video, let's say a press conference that was held by District Number 10, Yeka Koluba, about a voucher that was issued to his office by the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. He called that bribery, and also he made mention of corruption, how he doesn't want to be part of the corruption, and how the civil servant cannot even receive the salary, and they keep cutting. We might not uh, do anything as a people to affect the common people in this country, because these people are the one who elected some of the officials. So when a lawmaker is making mention and specifically emphasizing on civil servant, these are people who might not be taken lightly, because these same people are the same people who took upon themselves rather to stand in line, and when the cast cast their vote, and they were able to elect some of the officials. So they are very important. Let us not just prioritize ourselves as leaders and then forget about the common people who day-to-day work, the one that cause some of these changes in our country. So folks, if you are watching the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali. My guest is still struggling, so I'm just going to run through something here for a short time. Then I'm going to see what I can help in, and then we come back and proceed on another show. But he's trying to come online, but he said he can log in on Facebook because they requesting for his credential, and he said for security reasons he cannot log on because he's not. I mean, everyone has the right. I mean, this podcast is meant. It's not something that somebody's going to steal your credential. But if for some reason you are uncertain about coming live, I mean, you have your right. So we are just here for a short time, and we are discussing national issue, and especially with respect to Yeka Koluba, a section about bribery and and corruption. In that video, he made a statement about receiving the coupon of $4,500 for some sort of furniture for office. And he also said that he doesn't want to. He's gonna call on the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs ministers and ask him what was the coupon about, and he doesn't want to be part of anything that will endanger the Liberian people, because the Liberian people are the one he served. So that is a good position. I may not agree with everything Yeka Koloba have done, but I think he's a good and an amazing lawmaker. He always make mention about the common people, which is interesting because this is what we need to do as a Liberian people. Put Liberia first, put the people first. That's why these are the people we serve. When you are in office, you are not serving you and just your family. You are serving the Liberian people, because the Liberian people have entrusted you. That's what place you in the position. So, folks, if you are joining the show via Facebook and YouTube, welcome to the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali, and we are finding it difficult to have our guests come live because of some security credential. He doesn't want to log on using some account to come live, but we do agree. But I just wanted to keep you here for a later time as we wrap up our show. But thank you always for following the Rahim Show via Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate your time. I want to say thank you for always supporting the show. And I'd like to point out one of my sponsor out there who always supporting the show. I want to appreciate you for always standing by our side. Thank you for being there when we need you. And to all my co-hosts who are having some fine time, I want to say thank you for all your support. And we appreciate all of your comment, all of your support. Anyway, by following the Rahim Show, we always appreciate. We just want to see a better Liberia. That's the reason why this show was established. And let me use the opportunity to some my guest is having a difficult time to log on to come in live. Let me use the opportunity to tell people, because I guess somebody had asked me this question. I think it's the best time to answer that question. Somebody had asked me, how did the whole Rahim show name came about? Very interesting. I love that question when somebody asks me, especially when a question is in place. Very appropriate question. So I'm going to use this time to answer wherever you are. If you are watching this show, how did the whole name Rahim show came about? So I'm going to tell people, because a lot of time people think that Ricky just came up with something, just recently, he just branded with Rahim name. No, this Rahim name started since 1997, sent 1997, 1998, when we were in high school. If you are, some of my high school mates watching this podcast, you will know that we have, several guys that we all used to have some great time together. I want to say shout out to, using this show to say shout out to Cyrus Peter, a great friend of mine, and a brother. He's a pastor, a very great friend of mine. He was the one who even started calling me Rahim most of the time, Rahim, high school. I'm telling you, if you want to know how the whole Rahim name came about, it came about 1998. Imagine 1998 up to this time. How many years? Some of you think that I just created a Rahim name, but this is a Rahim name that started in 1998 when we were in high school, and a friend of mine used to call me Rahim. And every time I asked him, well, what are you calling me, Rahim? And he would say, oh, it's a very amazing name. You are a great guy. So I said, okay, that's a great name. I love it. Rahim is a great name. And then, I love it. So perhaps I'm going to come up with something called Rahim. Rahim. I'm going to come up with a show called Rahim. And he said, oh yeah, that can work. That's how that thing left in my mind. So when I moved to the US, I was working on this Rahim. And when you start having kids and start having family, all of this thing can bring, it can bring you back to not, implementing some of the things that you have in mind. But gradually, I started to pursue this Rahim things until today. You see, I'm having the Rahim show. So if you're watching and you just ask me why and how did the whole Rahim name started, the Rahim name started 1998 when I was in high school. And for some of my folks who are watching, via Facebook and YouTube. Cyrus Peter was the one who used to call me Raheem, Raheem, and amazing that he told me that name was a unique name, and I took it in my heart, and I said, "Oh yeah, I will make use of the Raheem name and come up with something." And today, that particular saying by Pastor Cyrus Peter and a friend and brother of mine has come to reality. So I just want to salute him. Uh, be the change you want to see. A lot of time people see a lot of good things in you. Use social media to impact lives. Don't use social media to be a gossiper. Don't use social media to create hate, and use social media to cultivate love. You know, love wants a hat and makes people smile. Try to make somebody smile out there and be the change you want to see. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. To all of you who follow and like our podcast, we want to say thank you always for being there. We appreciate all your time, for your support, and God bless you.